Je pikje vermoord. Zie, hier, akka.
47.
Nee. Heb ik hem, joh?
Fucking zoet.
Wat?
Oh, ik bedoel zoet.
Hij zei, je zei de verboden woord.
No, we know not.
Je zei frik. Nee, te daan aan elkaar. En dan achter VM.
FM.
Spatie. Van. M. O. L. K. E. N.
De beste manier om video's te posten is door shorts. Dat weet je zelf ook wel.
Is die
hè?
bovenste, geloof ik.
Post shorts.
Nee,
Die
eentje
taal.
naar beneden. Die.
Dit aan.
En die, ik ben nu live.
Oh.
Omdat dit niet mijn echte account is. Je kan
Het
alles.
zag gewoon echt uit alsof ik gewoon aan het kokken was, man. Op dat ding.
Je kan dingen in de chat schrijven, hè?
Nee, dat kan niet. Ik ben niet geworden.
Waarom niet? Log in. Ik heb een e-mail. Oh nee, wacht, die is geblokkeerd.
Waarom heb je e-mail?
Oh, weet ik niet. Omdat ik ooit heb gedrukt, blokkeer e-mail.
Hoezo zou je dat doen?
We hebben het per ongeluk gedaan. Of dat heeft iemand anders. Want ik leende hem altijd uit.
Ja, dat ik dan.
Now I want you to review what
Wat is GF?
Je hebt geen spam ding.
they are. But Yasmine is not here, so we do that.
Waarom zit je naar mij te kijken?
How is it? Yeah, I think so too.
Ik moet hem van pauze afhalen, Daan.
Benjamin, yes, later you need a lesson because we're gonna work. And how are you today?
Er staat nu op pauze.
Good, very good. Are you a little bit stressed about the theory? I
Yeah,
understand
because,
it's new for you, but you shouldn't be. At least for geography, you shouldn't be stressed because you already know a lot of things. So yeah, it's just a matter of doing. But first of all, I want to see if everybody's here. Let's see, Sydney. Sydney, I saw Marwa. It's also here. Marit also. Yeah, also. Okay. Tuan. See you, Lucas. Where are you? Yeah, also Emma, Talia, Yuna, Marten. Dan also Alicia. Cairo, hier.
Je kan nu ook dingen vragen over deze taal.
Hier, Alicia. Ja, sorry. So is that Woody? I can't recognize you. Benjamin and Yasmine. Okay. That was thing number one. Thing number two, Denzel. I forgot to give you. You have to learn those five for next week. You learn the 5 capital cities. Sydney, I forgot to check it.
Oh, Jakarta.
No. What's the capital of Thailand? Because it had India, Thailand, Australia, Niger, and Paraguay. So
Australia is wel heel makkelijk voor
Thailand. No.
It's
no.
Bangkok.
No.
Bangkok.
Put it back. Yes, it's Bangkok. What's the capital city
Bangkok.
of India?
Jakarta.
No.
Java.
India.
Oh, India.
China.
Oh, India.
Don't use that.
India. Wat?
Now, for next time.
Jakarta. Hij zei Jakarta.
No.
Ah.
Australians.
For
Yeah.
next time, if you don't know all those 5,
So.
you have to go outside for 10 minutes and sit outside and work there alone.
Dat is niet goed, hè?
So that's tomorrow. So you better learn them and never use that word again. Okay?
Okay.
And it's the same for dental.
Oh, he said the word. He said the word.
What? When?
He said the word.
Do you also want to learn some capital?
No.
Yeah, he
I
wants
did.
it.
He did
No?
set the word.
I didn't.
He said the word.
No.
Yes, yes.
No.
He said the word.
Now he's lucky
You
because I didn't hear it.
Aw.
Okay. Today it's the last real lesson. I mean,
Gezondheid.
bless you. And I mean the last lesson that I teach something new. Tomorrow we're gonna have a nice relaxing class because it's Wednesday fun day. Wednesday fun day, and next week we're gonna review stuff for the exam. Okay, but what did you want to ask? Emma? Nothing? I saw you. Oh, like you are happy. Okay, Yasmine, ask the question. If I can repeat how and where you have to learn for the exam, and I don't have that piece of paper with me. Does somebody have it? What you need to learn? Can you help me? Yes?
Nee, dat
The
ben
other
ik
has
niet.
it. Okay. So, but Yasmine, I want a specific question. What exactly you don't understand?
I just don't understand how I have to learn it because there are lots of different things and where you find it if you make like a
Summary?
summary, that you don't miss something that you have to learn. So
Yes. You don't start to learn with the questions because it's difficult. The first question is the characteristics of Indonesia's climate. Now, and then you have to look everywhere. Don't do that. You start to learn everything what's in your book. So it's unit 1 and unit 2. Unit 1 is the Indonesian archipelago, and unit 2 is culture of Southeast Asia. You also use the PowerPoint. Do you know how to find the PowerPoint in Teams? No? I do. Do you use Teams for some other subjects?
Yes, for a lot.
Yes.
For a lot.
No.
Now then, you know
No.
how to use Teams.
Dat use teams.
Teams.
No.
It's
I use
let's see where is my
Same
team. We go to my teams. Now I don't know how you get in your teams, perhaps it's something the same. Do they do something naughty?
No, I just bumped my head against this side. So
Sorry.
that
Oh, doe het nog een keer alsjeblieft.
No.
Why do you so loud? Okay, but it's okay. Everybody, just look. In Teams, you have pictures like this in Teams. You just choose the AK. That's geography. Perhaps I should have called it geography. But it's AK THPAM 2223. This is your team. You click on it and you have here posts. This is a sort of chat, but I didn't put anything in it. And then you go here up to bestanden. In bestanden, you have here this map that's called lesmateriaal. You click on it, and here is chapter 5, because this is what we've done the whole period. Chapter 5, you click on it, and here you see what to learn for TEA 1, and it's this piece of paper, just online. You have the answers for all the exercises. If you work in your book, yes, there you can check if you did it right or not. And here in PowerPoint, you have all the lessons that we've done. So you click on one, for example, and then you see the whole PowerPoint here with the geographical coordinates and everything.
But do you really need the PowerPoint, or because in the book there are the same things?
Yes, use them both because you don't have everything in your book. Here it's a summary. In fact, my PowerPoints are a summary from your book and your guide book.
So this all the PowerPoints is everything.
Yes, but if you don't understand something, you check the geo guide. And you also read the text in your course book because there is extra information. I don't put everything in the PowerPoint. I put what's really, really important. But you have, for example, other examples in your book. So you read that in your course book.
So first you can read a summary of your summary, and then you can read the things, and then you can see if you don't understand anything.
Yes, and if you, when you did all that, it means that you know the theory. And then what you do, you take these learning objectives, and then you ask yourself, what are the characteristics of Indonesia's climate? Do I know that? Do I know that it's a tropical climate? Do I know that it's a wet climate? Do I know that the temperatures are very high, above 18 degrees? This is in fact a review, and you test yourself. And after you learn everything, if you can answer these questions, you know everything. So you don't start with a question and you look for information because it's more difficult. It's the other way around. Yes, Emma.
Mag ik gewoon zoeken, Sydney?
Sydney, mag je
Yeah.
Twan.
This is a type.
Twan, de
Nou
antwoord
ja.
vraag aan jou.
Nee.
I think the exam is easier than the types of questions you have here because you also get multiple choice questions for your exam. And multiple choice is easier than to explain something. Okay. Some other questions. And also learn the terms, on the back. That you know what the state is, that you know what the peninsula is, that you know what the culture region is, yes? Those are definitions you have to learn. And all these definitions that are here, you see that? Those terms, you can find them in your course book. At the end of chapter 5, you have all the terms. You don't have to learn them all. You only learn what you have here. Yes? Because in your book, okay, here, where is chapter 5? Oh, this is chapter 6. So you have here chapter 5, yes, with it's Asia and Indonesia with light blue, and at the end of everything, all the paragraphs, we have this blue, the blue pages. It's page 94 and 95. Here you find your terms, and this is what you need to learn. Yes, the begrippen, those are terms. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yes. If it's not, doesn't matter. I repeat it again. Yes. Both lessons will be recapped. They're hard. And I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to test, these learning objectives. If you know everything that's here, if you know this. Perhaps I make a Kahoot, I don't know, with the whiteboard, but we're going to check. Yes, and we're going to repeat everything. So perhaps it's handy that you already start to learn this week or in the weekend, that you already know some stuff. Yeah? Don't leave everything for the last day before the exam because it's difficult to learn everything. And then you can't remember. So start on time. Okay, now we start with the lesson then.
Oh no. Nada. I cannot do that. Stupid. Of me?
But today, the last piece of theory is about states
Stare down.
and borders. Do you know the word, first of all? What is a state? Can you give me an example of a state? Wales. Yes, that's good. So in fact, what's a state?
Like, it's in a country, and it's like a little country in a country.
A little country in a country, but it can also be a country. Yeah, and we'll see why. What does border mean? What is a border? What's that? Not you again. Alicia, do you know what a border is? It's a line. Sometimes it's a physical one, sometimes it doesn't exist. It's an imaginary line, but it's a line that separates two countries. Very good. So, we're going to talk today about states and borders, and at the end of the lesson, and for the exam, you can explain what the state is, and you can know the difference in the different types of borders. Okay. Why don't you have any notebook? Okay. Good. We've learned this already. What do you see on the first map? On the left. Yes, Mike. Yes. And if you read the legend, what can you say? What do you see there? Countries. And if you look at the arrows, you see here from Arab countries, it stays here on this arrow. Here's that from Sri Lanka, from China, from Spain. What does this picture tell you? This map. We've learned it last week about in the lesson about culture. What are these lines? Nobody can answer?
Where the religion came from.
Yes, those are migration streams, and this is how religion came to Indonesia, indeed. But you can also say, yeah, migrants. Yes, people migrated to Indonesia, and then what happened then? Those countries in Southeast Asia became what? Talia. When migrants came there with their own religion and culture, what happened to the countries that were there in Southeast Asia? They became something.
Different
Yes, and they, how do you call it? They got exploited by countries in Europe mostly. So how do we call those countries? Yes. So a country that is under the rule of colony. Exactly. They were colonies, yes, because people from Europe or America also came here. They established colonies. And you see here, Indonesia was a colony of which country? The Netherlands. Exactly. You see here, Cambodia and Vietnam and Laos. They were colonies of which country? Look at Lucas from France. Very good. So in the I don't know which century was it. I think 70th, 18th century they were colonies. But after the World War II, and that was around, you know, what year? World War II, the Tweede Wereldoorlog. Alice, do you know that? When was it, the Second World War? 1940, around, yes. So, after that, the colonies became independent states. That means that they had their own government, they had their own borders, and they weren't European colonizers. And you see here, Indonesia became independent in 1949. Singapore in 1965. The Philippines also 1964, just after the war. So they became, you have to remember this, independent states. And this process, this you don't have to know for the exam, but it's good for you to know. We call it decolonization. It was first the colonization of the lands, and after that, when they became free, you call it decolonization. And they became, I said, yes, I know. Okay. Is it really, really necessary now? Because normally you can't go to the toilet during the. Yes. So please write down what a state is. A state is an area with clear borders. You see it here. You see here.
Download
This is
dan
a funny
tenminste
picture.
notes waar kunst in
The
zit.
border, yes.
Kunst in zitten.
Nee, kunst.
Decolonization.
Nee, dat is saai.
But this is necessary to write. Yes?
Jij moet
A state
downloaden
is an area with clear borders and its own government. And you have here an example, the border between the Netherlands and Belgium. Would you say that's a border? No, when you think about the border, what do you have in mind most of the time?
Auwoel.
Trees.
Trees. Benjamin, did you travel abroad? Outside Europe?
Yes, Marokko.
Ben je naar Marokko geweest?
Ja, mijn oom en tante gingen ook trouwen.
Waarom helemaal daar?
Omdat ze hebben
Yes, and
heel
then say,
veel
welcome to
boers.
France.
Die
Yes,
Don't
yes,
take
mine.
your
Do you
book
have question? Clear. That it's
Mexican.
everybody knows that this is the border from between what's here? Belgium and the Netherlands. Or between the Netherlands, it's clear. It's clear. The border is the grens, and clear betekent dat het
in Mexico you also have a border
how should I say it?
with United
It is
with the US.
voor iedereen is gewoon, iedereen weet dat de border is, dat de grens is tussen de twee. Yeah? So it's a clear border, it's for everybody, everybody knows where the border is and that there is a border. Yes, Sydney.
Clear means duidelijk.
Duidelijk, thank you. It's a very good word, duidelijk. Yes, and its own government. Do you know the name of our Prime Minister?
Mark Rutte.
Mark Rutte.
Ja, zo noem ik hem thuis.
That one, huh?
Zegt ze haar ding?
Yes.
Rutte.
But you have, it's not everybody, every time that's clear. Sometimes you have in this country, in this example, Spain, but you have there people living there with a different culture. Sometimes they have their own government, but it's not recognized by other countries. And that's what we call a nation. So write down, a nation is a cultural entity. What an entity is something. It's a cultural entity. And here we have, Dan, are you with me?
Yes.
The example of the Basque country, Baskeland. Perhaps you heard about it. They fight with the Spanish people, so they want to be independent. And on the other hand, you have the state, and that's a political entity. So the difference between a nation and a state is that nation is based on cultural identities, and the state is based on political identities. An example of a nation. Have you ever heard about the Kurds in Turkey? The Kurds. No? It's a people who lives mostly in Turkey, but also in Afghanistan, in Iran, Iraq, and that's a nation. They have the same culture, the same language, but they live in different countries, in different states.
Spain is dan ook een
It's
nation.
something to do with culture.
Jawel,
And the state,
Mexico.
it's something to do with the
Heb je met
politics.
Mexico niet?
Yeah, it's a political entity. A political thing. Did you write it down? Nation is cultural.
In
State
Mexico hebben
is
ze bijna dezelfde
political.
cultuur hè, als in Spanje.
This is a little bit difficult, so I'm not going to get into a lot of details. You will learn this next year or 2 years later. Here, I found it very funny to let you see. So these are now independent states in Southeast Asia. 11 countries. And here
Niet is
is
gras.
the real translation of what the country means. If you see here,
Kom, we gaan
the
niet hebben.
Indonesia, here you have Indonesia, and it means Indian island. Here you have Malaysia, and it means
We gaan wel
mountain
niet roken.
city. And this is very funny. Brunei, it's a very small country there, Brunei, and it means there. That is very funny. Why did they call it like that? Like that. There. So I thought this is a fun fact to know.
Vakantie.
The borders. This is very important for the state because the borders give you a clear image how the
Dit is
country and
Coca-Cola
the
gemaakt
state
vroeger.
look like. And you
Dit is
have two
Coca-Cola
types.
vroeger
You have
gemaakt.
natural borders and artificial borders. The natural
Zulke mensen
borders are,
Die kristal
as the name said, Sydney, natural formations. For example, what do you think, Sydney? A natural border. What can be a natural border?
The like it's tropical somewhere, and then
Between countries, states.
then there's tropical state like a country that's tropical, and then there's
It has
It
nothing
doesn't-
to do with the climate. Let me see. Somebody else. Tyrone, I haven't heard it in a long time. What do you think? A natural formation that can be a border. If you look here. This is Spain, and here you have France, and this is the border between the two.
Mexico.
What do you have there?
Orange.
Do you know what's
Sahara?
that? With very no Sahara. It's in Africa.
Oh no. I mean mountains.
Dark.
Mountains. Mountains.
Yes. What do you think,
I'm
Tyrone?
an island boy.
Yeah, that's a natural formation. Those are mountains.
If we can break.
So
Als je hier woont, ben je dan ook een
you
island
can
boy?
write it down for
Nee.
natural borders. You have mountain ranges or rivers, as you can see here.
Island
This
boys
is
komen
a
uit
piece of the
Mexico.
border between
Mexico
America
zit echt
and
onder
the
Amerika.
United States.
En daar
And
komen de island boys
Mexico.
vandaan. Zie je daar?
It's Rio Grande. So this is
Daar komen zij
the
vandaan.
border. Or here
Ze komen uit
you
Mexico.
have the mountains.
De island boys.
Are a natural border.
Island boys komen
Yeah.
uit Mexico.
Do you really?
Jawel.
Florida.
Mexico.
Florida. Hebben ze uitgezocht.
Huh?
Ze hebben het uitgezocht.
So these are
Ja, bij
natural
mij hebben ze
borders.
ook
And
uitgezocht.
then
Ze hebben
we
ze uit
have
Mexico kwamen.
artificial borders. So natural borders are just natural things that come in nature, and artificial borders, they are made by man. They are man-made borders. Like what can it be? Exactly. It was just a line because it's desert and yeah, they don't have anything, as a coordination point. So I said, okay, this is the border.
Nou wel in Mexico.
Yeah, did you write it down? Yes? Okay. So national borders, mountain ranges, rivers, oceans, deserts. Do you understand all the words? What's a
Yes.
desert? know what the desert is? Temple? No. Do not. A place with a lot of sand, yeah? Indeed, it's a woestijn. Not a desert, a woestijn. And the artificial borders, you see it here, this is only a line, this is also for fun, because nobody takes it into consideration. You see, there you have a building there, so people use both countries, in fact, to live. Here is Canada, there is the United States. And this is what you call open borders. Open, they're just
Ja, en die
lines on the
daarnaast van
ground, the same
Mexico.
as between the Netherlands and Belgium. And here you have closed borders.
Dat is
This is the
Mexico.
border between Indonesia and Malaysia. And they build walls. They really, they have walls, fences to keep people behind their own border. Yeah, so you have open borders and closed borders. And yes, Milo, this is very important also to use the PowerPoint, because here I give you more pictures, for example, or movies or something to understand better, and that you don't have in your book. Yeah? Or not always. So artificial borders, open and closed. Are there any questions? No, this is pretty easy, right? To understand. You just need to learn it, and that's it. But people live then in their own country, in their own state, but they have different cultures. And then you get problems. And you see it here, people are angry, they demonstrate against, that says arrest Ahok, I don't know, it's that man, because he insulted Islam. So there is discrimination, for example. It is the same, it happens with the Rohingya people. They
Is El
live
Paso.
in Myanmar, but they come from Pakistan, I think, and they are discriminated there because they are a little bit different than the other people. So this is why you get conflicts. Marwa, are you writing? Krista? What are you doing? You read the label of your bottle glass. The bottle, water bottle. Okay.
Oh, I need to write.
You need to write. Okay. So problems due to cultural differences lead to discrimination and violence. And now you have like half an hour to work on, I think, 4 exercises. I don't remember, but we'll see it now. Yes. And until February, you have 2 lessons a week for geography. And starting with February, it's going to be 1 lesson a week. Right? Because that's a very good question. This is how you can choose. Either you have either period 1 lesson. No, that's not good. Either you have 2 periods, because you have 4 periods. And then you can choose, either you have every period 2 lessons and then 0 and then again 2, again 0. Or you can make it 2, 1, 2, 1. Or 1, 2, 1, 2. But why? Beats me. I think it's because it doesn't fit in your schedule. So you only have this amount of lessons per year or per semester, and then they have to distribute it somehow, I think. I have no other logical explanation. So, this is what you have to do. Find So, chapter 5,
Ik dacht dat je
paragraph
Minecraft
or
haatte.
unit 2.
Ik dacht dat je Minecraft haatte.
I'm
Dus
gonna write it
Mm,
also
tenminste
on the
goed in.
whiteboard on the other side.
Ik was er toen wel goed in toen ik het speelde.
5.2.
Heel
And then
kwijt.
you
Ik
have
had echt heel goed.
exercises.
Oh.
7,
Maar hij doet het niet goed.
8,
Hij kan gewoon
9.
een heel huis mijnen en dan heeft hij genoeg hout.
So, grab your laptop. Yes?
En loop geeft 4 hout.
hoef niet. Dat is gewoon als je een glitch hebt.
Niet zoveel.
Jawoe, je kan niet minder.
Oh, yes, but
Je kan niet minder.
Wat bedoel je?
Eén stuk.
Nee, maar hij houdt er bijna 8, snap je?
I'm also gonna cite you. You have it there on the board. 7, 8,
Ja,
Jawel.
10.
bedankt dat je het zelf zegt.
I'm gonna go together.
Jij bent echt gek in je hoofd.
Jij ook.
Jij bent wel zo dom, man. Zie je, daar is hout.
Nederlands Denzel. Ik weet wel dat jouw account is.
Nee, ik zei dat ook niet.
En trouwens, alle links komen er niet in. Big shot. Knows your chance to be a big shot. Wat bedoel je daarmee?
Denzel, wat bedoel je met een big shot?
Dit heb ik ook.
Wat bedoel je? Wat heb je zo'n ticket zeggen? Hey, big shots, daar ben ik terug. Big shots. Dus zoek eens op big shots. En waarom heb je een gay vlag gedaan?
Die heb ik verwijderd.
Gay flag. Nice. Wacht.
Die heb ik letterlijk verwijderd.
Moet je wel?
Je moet porn.
Is goed.
So you go to chapter 5, paragraph or unit 2. Like that. And you see here assignments. Look, here you have all the assignments. And this is the summary that you have to
I
do.
dot it.
You still have 1 week.
I dot it already.
Then the next week. This is the summary, and sometimes you have revision. It's like exercise 10 most of the time, or 12. And then it's here, revision.
Which one do we need to do?
And now you need to do 7. A, B, C, 8. A, B, 9, A, B, and C and D. Okay. Oh yeah, and 10 is revision then. Yes? Now in the book it's a little bit different. In the book it's 10, but here it's just revision. On the right here 10 it's revision. Yes, ma'am. Oh, because you didn't know how
Oh, je pik, ik sla je zo fucking hard. Zo fucking teasersbag. Je hoort
What
dat,
the fuck?
je hoort,
Wat gaan we doen?
je hoort dat ik een beetje boos ben.
Nou? Nee.
Wat de fuck doe je?
Hij is dampoel aan het laten, man.
You so bad at Minecraft.
Ja. Fucking dampoelkind.
This wall from there.
Twampoel.
You noob.
the ones with the most colonies
That's
were
2G.
France. So that's a mistake.
En jij bent echt slecht. Ja, net zoals jou.
Dat is zo makkelijk. Ga gewoon creëren.
Jij bent echt slecht.
Oké.
Echt slecht.
And you crash fucking
Oh, deze mensen zitten fucking Minecraft te spelen. Ja. Ik kwam.
Oké. Oh shit, ik ben niet.
Als dood. Ja, ga jij lekker dood. Hij liet bijna zijn laptop typen. Ja, maar door mijn spidey senses. They're starting to tingle. Ja. Oké.
Hij weet niet wat een kolonie is. Ik weet niet wat een kolonie is.
Kolonie is een ding. Een kolonie?
Niet van of niet.
Een kolonie is een kolonie. Het zijn mensen die in een kolonie zitten. Find an example of a natural border in steady. Steady. Ik bedoel, wat de hell? Dat heb ik al gemaakt. El Paso is hier. Ik ga het nog niet eens varen. Blijf in je handjes, blij. Zet je nagels in de handen, blij. Zet die tricks weg. Weet ik. Eeuw. Het hoort bij jongens. Nee.
En zo heeft ook hele vieze nagels.
Denzel. Laat me je nagels zien.
Okay, did you start working? Because it's
Ja, dat hoort
very
niet bij jongens. Echt wel. Knip je nagels. Rio.
Did you find it? Are you in? No, you're not supposed to send emails. Very good, Dan. You're busy.
Maar I opened my thing and I'm now at 8.
It goes fast because you still have 20 minutes. But doesn't matter. There is enough work to do.
Okay. No.
Yes. And then chapter 5.
Het was homework.
Wat was het?
Hey,
You're still
ik ben
in the
hacker.
assignment and then
Ik ben
7,
hacker.
8, 9.
I didn't know this one.
Okay, then we can look.
What do we have?
Which two colonial powers control the most colonies? Click on it.
Nee, I see.
Make it bigger.
No.
The most, huh? Look, the Netherlands had the biggest because Indonesia is very big, but the most means more than one. So just count them. For example, with green, United Kingdom. Who does? Yes, it's 2 in fact because this is Malaysia. It's the same. Singapore. So 2. And then you have the Netherlands. They have only 1. United States, only 1 there. And France, look, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. So in fact, France and the United Kingdom, they had the most. But I'm curious if you say France, because sometimes they say it's wrong. Oh, sometimes they put it France 2 times and United Kingdom 2 times. I don't know why, but it's wrong. So you understand now? Good. Gentlemen, are you already?
Hoeveel moet je maken? Hoeveel?
Because it isn't.
How a virus comes if you do something. You did something.
You click on something
Ja.
Did you click
most
on
of the time.
Did you click a free V-Bucks ad?
No.
Yes!
Fortnite is fucking